So as we come to the end of 2022, it's been another big year for the driver category. So I'm going to run you through my top 5 drivers of 2022. So I've chosen these 5 drivers and put them in this particular order through my personal feedback of the drivers, as well as the feedback and the results that I've seen through day-to-day fittings throughout the year. So without further ado, let's start off with number 5 in my top 5 drivers, and that is going to be the Cobra, so the LTDx. So obviously had 3 different models in that LTD lineup, and I think this has been a really good sort of driver. We know Cobra have been producing some good drivers, and probably the last maybe sort of 5 years, probably from the F9 era, was a really good driver, and since then I think they've really sort of stepped up to the mark in the driver category. And again, the LTD was a very successful option. For me, it was a little bit of a harder feel off the club face personally, but I did quite like the look of this driver, and again, the adjustability, the 3 options really hit a wide audience of golfers in trying to obviously achieve the certain ball flight that they're looking for. So moving into number 4, and this might be a bit of a shock to you, I'm going to wait for the comments to fire in down below, but coming in at number 4 is, wait for it, the TaylorMade Stealth driver. So many of you may be surprised why this is number 4 in my list. Personally, I struggled a little bit with this particular driver. I quite like the look of it, and I did say that in my review videos, the shaping of it. I think that the colourway on the top I quite liked. I didn't mind the red face at all, but I just really struggled to get the performance out of it for me personally. And I did try quite a few different shaft options in this, and I just felt it wasn't the most forgiving driver out there. And I think that was then very much the theme we saw throughout the year with fittings. I think if golfers had some speed and some real control of strike, it wasn't so bad. You know, it obviously did perform nicely. But I think for the golfer who maybe just moved it around, and depending where that strike was, we saw spin numbers just jump around a little bit too much for my sort of liking, really. So that's where that's positioned. Now, obviously, it's not a bad driver, you know, it's obviously a very good driver, but, you know, from my experience of this year, it's going to go in at number 4. Obviously, it's going to be an interesting one with what they come out with in the new year, TaylorMade with an updated one. I'd imagine it's going to be a little bit more forgiving. We may see more carbon, I don't know. Obviously, we'll wait to see what happens on that launch. Obviously, those full review videos will be coming to my channel as soon as embargo is lifted. Okay, so moving into number 3 of my top 5 drivers of 2022, and that is going to be the Callaway Rogue ST lineup. So we saw a Max D, a Max LS, and obviously the Triple Diamond as well. So 4 driver options, which obviously is quite a lot from Callaway, but for me, it did stay. The Max LS did go in my bag for a while through the year, and I did enjoy using it. I think the look of it was really good, the sound, the feel. The Max was a very popular option through our fittings. You know, it's a very stable sort of driver. We got some good speeds with that. We got some good forgiveness with it, and a lot of golfers did hit a lot straighter shots with the Max head being that ultimate sort of forgiveness. So has been a very, very popular one. Again, it'd be really interesting to see what they come out with next year, because Rogue will get replaced. Is it going to be faster? Is it going to be longer? Is it going to be straighter? I think the theme again probably for 2023 is going to be around more, obviously they'll always talk about speed, won't they, and you know, and how far can they go with this speed off the club face. It's got to be starting to get to that limit, hasn't it? But I think they'll start to talk a lot more about that stability. That's the theme we've really sort of seen through 2022, is, you know, stability off centre hit, straighter shots, and I think that is just something they'll sort of work harder on again in the new drivers in 2023. Okay, so we're moving into the top 2 of my top 5 drivers of 2022. Coming in at number 2 is the Ping G425. It's been an incredible driver. This has probably been one of our best selling drivers, or best performing drivers in fittings. I think probably the only thing that's maybe just knocked it away from that top spot is just the sound of the driver. That has put some people off. It has been an issue for certain golfers. Other people aren't too worried about that. Performance-wise, it's been amazing. Very, very stable driver in the Max with that tungsten weight to the back. We have seen some incredible results with it. The SFT, the straight flight technology driver, has been unbelievable. So anybody for that right-handed golfer who slices that ball left to right, loses it right, the SFT has been amazing. Really helped to sort of limit that curvature on that golf ball essentially. So we've seen some amazing results, which is why it's put it up there. It's a driver I like. Again, the sound just a little bit too off-putting for me. Again, be really interested to see what we see with the G430. Obviously, he's going to come out in the new year. Again, I've already tested that. It's pretty impressive. So we'll see those numbers when that gets released in January. But yeah, number 2, my top 5, the pink G425. Okay, so you're probably wondering now what is my number one pick, and this did come out later in the year, and you could possibly have an argument that this is a class as a 2023 driver, but it did come out sort of end of September time, so I'm going to put it into the 2022 category, and that is the Titleist TSR lineup. So we saw TSR2, TSR3 and TSR4 launch end of September. This for me is a bit of more of a full package. For me personally, I love the look of this TSR, especially the 3. Love the look of it. I mean, the TSR2 was a huge improvement of the look from the previous TSI2, but the shaping of the head is beautiful. Very clean look, very classic look, and Titleist has always been renowned for those sort of driver look, haven't they? The feel off the club face is amazing. The sound is absolutely on the money, and I saw it in my initial review video, my fitting video I did. Again, I'll put a little link, you can maybe go and check that out. My off-centre hits, and I did actually miss a few strikes in that particular testing video, low in the face, and the smash factor just really held its own. Off-centre hits was really, really impressive. And I definitely then saw that with club golfers in front of me in driver fittings. It's been pretty impressive driver. As I say, it's just a little bit of the full package for me. Yes, the price point is hitting that £529 mark, which is obviously expensive, but I think we're going to see a lot of the drivers in 2023 move up to that price point. Everything happening in the world, component-wise, prices are going to creep up. So, and that is going in my number one driver for 2022. Okay, so there we go. You might agree with that, you might not agree. You're probably screaming down the camera and thinking, why have you not added this driver in there, this driver in there? As I say, that's my personal views from feedback we see through the golfers we have in front of us. So post comments down below, let me know your thoughts of my top 5. Does that marry up with your top 5? Have you got any of those drivers, or am I missing a driver out there that you feel should be in there? Post comments down below. Appreciate you watching the video as always, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.